Hello, your dear
Mm.
Chetan this side, and welcome to Universe of Thoughts. This video is very special. We are going to talk about a topic which is very important from your career point of view. Okay, we are talking about PhD. Yes, मेरा MBA हो चुका है, and sir is pursuing PhD from IIM Kozhikode. So he is going to share his experience as well. But today कुछ चीजें हैं जो फटाक से हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. सबसे पहले सर आपका एक छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन हो जाए.
My name is Kushag. I belong to Ranchi. I've done my BTech in mechanical engineering from BIT Mishra, and recently I've cracked CAT in 2019. I've been a senior CAT writer, but then was looking for a PhD in strategy area. I want to pursue my career in academics, and hence I have chosen this area. So recently I've joined IIM Kozhikode this year for my PhD in strategic management. So a bit about me.
सर टॉकिंग अबाउट पीएचडी मतलब हो गया ग्रेजुएशन हो गया नाउ वी आर डन विद एमबीए आई एम डन विद एमबीए आपका भी मतलब वो पूरा साइकिल कंप्लीट होने वाला है सो व्हाई पीएचडी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल क्यों करना है पीएचडी एंड पीएचडी फ्रॉम इंडिया ये कंप्लीट सिनेरियो आपकी तरफ से.
Okay, so there are two things now. One is why PhD. First of all, there has been a great motivation within me since college. So since second year of college, I have been in education sector. I've written books in the college which got published. I have my own research papers which got published in the college and just after that as well. I have been in education sector. I've worked with leading edtech organizations like IIMs, there has been a strong motivation inside me to contribute to the education sector, to the academics sector. Hence, this is why PhD for me. But for other aspirants as well, it is just not academics career. It's good that that we pursue PhD to be in the academic sector. But there are people who has gone in industry as well after doing PhD. So PhD is actually gives you an exhaustive environment. So particularly, I did not have a master's degree before getting into PhD, right? So I had a strong profile which led me to get into an IIM for my PhD. But for example, this year also the other candidate who got selected in strategic management had already done her MBA from IIM Lucknow. So it requires some amount of experience, some amount of master's degree. Depends on what your profile, depends on what what the institute needs at that point of time. So yes, so for me that was the reason, strong motivation to contribute in the academic sector. PhD actually gives you the whole holistic experience about each particular nuances you want to research about. So, for example, if you have a question in your mind, you need to be very inquisitive. See, PhD is all about asking questions, very small questions. Right now, just in this, like I have been in this program for 2.5, 3 months, and the training has started so rigorously that we have actually started knowing how to read a research paper and how to question the research paper. So it's not about the people who have already done it, but then it gives the belief that you can actually raise questions on any particular line. Like if there is management science, how management science came up, what are the hypotheses that was built up during the research paper that came up during management science. So these are the questions that came up in my mind when I was doing this program. But then before the program, you have some questions. I had some questions how startup functions in each particular segment. There are different organizations, but they're taking different types of decisions, and they have the same vision. So what goes behind that? What is the thinking process behind that? What is the concepts that they actually apply in that particular situation? So these were the questions that I had in mind, and so that led to PhD from IIM. And in India, basically, because see, there is always a dilemma if you are getting a good institute in India or going abroad. Most people prefer going abroad because of the exposure that they get and can bring from abroad. But nevertheless, we are developing, and with the new education policy as well, and with the rigor that we are doing research in India. Mostly you see the IIM directors or IIM professors, IIT directors or IIT professors. Few of them are have done their PhD from India itself. So it's not a not, I would say, rather than talking about India, it's not much of a talked topic in India. We basically negate when ourselves when research comes up. So a huge factor for me considering India was, see, we also come from a humble background, so thinking about abroad becomes a certain reason to ponder about, like, if we can go to abroad or not, and if we go, what would be the situations. So and if you're getting a holistic environment in India, trusting the system, so the trust is a big factor. If you trust the system, then only you will be able to contribute enthusiastically in that particular system if you get through also. So yes, I do trust the Indian system. They have produced good researchers, and in the coming era, it's in the coming age, after 5 years, after 4 years, uh, my gut feel is India is going to do good in research, and hence a PhD from India, and hence PhD, and PhD from IIM, because of the management sector that I was interested in. But this question I will come to afterwards as the time goes on.
What is the advantage of pursuing PhD in terms of money, in terms of skill addition, in terms of research field you are working? So I need to know that because this is very crucial. You are going to invest 5 years of your life in something, and if you are going to get proportional returns, then definitely it becomes more and more interesting. So I need your views on this.
Okay, I have a very strong viewpoint that when you are doing PhD, you not only look from the materialistic point of view, but from a point of view where you are changing your own personal thinking. So within 2.5 months, I have started thinking. I've started looking at things differently. Like for any situation comes up, you have that particular you have another vision, you have another thinking skill that PhD training uh, starts incubating in you. So that is the biggest point, biggest advantage, which results in your materialistic things, like you have a good stipend, you have for all the conferences you go, the institute pays. Not for all the conferences, but yes, for a few of them. But you're performing well, then situation is different. And then you get accommodation in the institute to stay. So for all the 5 years, the institute actually invests in you to make you a good researcher, and so that when you pass out from the institute, you actually bring that uh, that exposure to the institute where you are going. So, for example, you have done PhD from an ABC institute, not ABC IIM. I'm talking about ABC, any ABC college. So we are going to a XYZ college as an academician. Then people look at you as a knowledgeable person. So the package will be at par with the IIMs, or even sometimes even more than that. Or as a leading B school professor, you will have that particular CTC. Apart from that, if you are interested in consulting, you can get into that. The professors do consult for companies, so you get a proportionate amount there as well. So as a career, as a monetary, from a monetary point of view, from a point of view where you are talking about compensation, it's a stable career that you will get, a career where not only, so you can actually say that, okay, I'm stable right now, but there is a lot more you can contribute. You can actually contribute, you can ask any type of question, like in education sector itself, or in, sorry, or in technology aspect, product innovation. You can ask questions, contribute with your own research paper, get your paper published in top journals, and those journals can actually help the corporates or the organizations to take important decisions which can actually impact lives of people, and hence your research contribution can go a long way. Who knows, the other person can get a Nobel Prize as well. So that's the amount of contribution and the amount of vision that PhD can create in you, the inquisitiveness that the PhD program can create in you. So it's a program where you seek a good career prospect. It's a rigorous program. It needs to be a rigorous program because your research only will impact the thinking of thinking of the professionals who are there in outside the academics world or in the academics world as well. So for the bachelor's degree, right now the older IIMs currently till the last year, what the notification said that you should have a 4 years bachelor's duration. So in the sense, if you it's 3+2. If you have a 3 years bachelor's, then 2 years master's is needed. But if you have 4 years bachelor's, then master's was not needed in last year. You never know, the situation can change next year for the eligibility criteria. So it's always advisable to check the particular colleges. This year, as far as till now, I guess Ahmedabad has published their notification. Other colleges have not. So yeah, you can check that particular uh, notification. Uh, and that was the eligibility criteria. With respect to that, there are some colleges which gives a benchmark of what should be the percentage qualification percentage in the bachelor's degree or in the master's degree. So that you should also take in account. For some colleges, it is 60% in bachelor's. For some colleges, it might be 50%. You need to check that. So that's what I cannot say a very uh, like a very straightforward thing that this is the eligibility criteria. It depends on the college, but I am giving the minimum qualification that these are needed. And then for the qualification tests, so for the IIMs, you can apply through CAT, GATE, UGC, NET, JRF. So depending on the areas again. So for example, IIM Bangalore can takes their own test, IIMB test, for for all their areas, which is not which is also considered by IIM COSICO, but it is not considered by other IIMs. So depending on the areas as well, the qualification tests can change. But CAT is in the management field. CAT is every IIM takes in consideration the CAT score. For different fields, for GATE score is also applicable. For different fields, UGC net is also applicable. So you can apply through those courses. And so after that, again, the shortlisting and all, we will come to that. So these are the minimum qualification. And then yeah. WorkX, see, every area. This again is area dependent. So if you are looking to get into an area called a strategy, WorkX is highly preferable. If you have a very good strong profile, fresher, they have taken in before as well, but you need a very strong profile for that. But yeah, so WorkX for production and operations area, again, it is institute dependent. Sometimes the one IIM can give weightage to WorkX, the IIM will not give weightage to that to WorkX. But yeah, to get that interview called or to apply, you should not think first that I don't have WorkX. So your SOP matters. Your SOP matters. So we will come to that. So these are the basic eligibility criteria and minimum qualification that institute will seek for. So as we just did with the minimum qualification that I talked about, so application process is one of the most important thing which will give you an interview call in any institute, specifically if you talk about IIMs. So the most important thing about application process is your SOP. Be very thorough about your SOP, right from the line one that you are writing to the last line. You should know why you have written what you have written, and how are you going to defend your SOP if asked any question in the interview. So your score, your SOP is specifically very important in application process. Some of the colleges, like IIM Bangalore or IIM Kozhikode, also needs recommendation from the professors, or from, if you have WorkX, one of the recommendation can be from your uh, uh, company as well. But you need recommendations. They send proper link to whatever to whomsoever you want that you who can fill recommendation for you. So they will send a link and they will fill in a recommendation. So that's again a part of application process. So it's an application process which takes time. So you can start as early as possible. Biggest thing is you can start writing your SOP as early as possible, so that it becomes very clear when you are submitting your application form. So this actually constitutes the application process. And then when you get the interview call, then some of the institutes conduct written tests on the interview day or a day before, when you are called for the interview. Most specifically, each IIMs call the each aspirant to the college. This year it was not possible due to COVID, but mostly they do call. And they take the if any there is any area test they will take, or a direct interview, and that concludes the whole process. So that's how the application process and the selection process goes through for the PhD in IIMs, and more so for other top B schools as well. uh, uh, the SOP part remains constant. The recommendation part again depends. And the scores again, whatever scores that you're applying through, uh, be very sure that you are providing your best scores while applying. Yeah.
Sir, talking about the program structure, okay, there is field work involved or thesis. I don't know anything about PhD, so I want to know about what is the program structure all about, and is it varying, and does it vary from institute to institute, or it is standard?
So if you are coming to IIM and you have done your MBA from IIM, you will be directly inducted in the second year. You are exempted from the first year of coursework. That too also, I guess there is a certain cutoff of GPA. If you have done your MBA from IIM and you have uh, secured a kind of cutoff GPA, then only your first year gets exempted. And if you are an MBA not from IIM, then the whole coursework remains, and the whole program structure remains the same. uh, and if you are like actually lucky and you have not done your masters and then got through also in the PhD, then also the the program structure remains the same. So it is divided into two stages. First stage is coursework of 2 years. Second stage is of mostly research and thesis work of normally 3 years, 2.5 3 years. So it is expected that in the first 2 years you are done with your coursework. So the coursework also depends institute to institute wise. For some institute, there will be more PGP courseworks, less of PhD courseworks in the first year. It can change in other IIMs. So more sort of, but you need to do courseworks which are area specialized as well. And so after that there will be a very rigorous exam which is called as area comprehensive qualifying exam. So it may be written, it may be vocal, or it may be combination of both. But then it needs to be passed to get to the second stage, and it is considered very rigorous. So that there the committee actually checks that you have the temperament fit, you have the knowledge fit, and you have the fit to go into the second stage and conduct the research on your own. So that's the first stage completed. And the second stage is all about thesis. So you need to write your own paper. So let's say the 3 years or 2.5 to 3 years can be divided. In the first year, you are defining your own problem statement and defending it again that the problem statement is viable in front of the committee. So you will obviously get a guide who will guide you in the process. And then in the second year you start writing the paper, and it is expected that in the early stages of final year you start submitting your you actually submitting your thesis. So you can take some time to defend it, and then so that's how the program structure looks like from 4.5 to 5 years, mostly in IIMs. This whole structure remains the same in top B schools as well. It just depends that the courseworks the courseworks that are there, the subjects in the courseworks may vary. The subjects that are provided may vary, but that's how the the it remains. Yeah.
Sir, the last question, which is very, very, very important question. What should be the mentality before getting into this course or before even thinking कि मुझे PhD करना है, क्योंकि 5 साल आपको dedicate करने हैं first of all. If it is regular in the sense if you are in the institute तो और भी hectic हो जाएगा. Hectic in the sense you have to dedicate the complete a daily routine to the institute as well as your work. But if it is external, still you have to prepare the reports, you have to get through the complete course. So I want your inputs on this.
Yeah, so PhD in itself, when you are deciding to pursue PhD, so it's a specialized course, right? So you are investing your years to have an impact afterwards, right? So it's a course. When you start thinking, you will enjoy the process. The process will come where the days will come when you feel lonely. You will be like, what am I doing here? But then your motivation to contribute will help you in the process. So about going through the process, I would just like to mention 3 4 points. In the sense, it's a commitment of 4 to 5 years. It's not scary. We are always talking about 4 to 5 years, 4 to 5 years, 6 years. It's not scary because you're actually thinking about some problem statement and solving it on your own. So you're on your own solving a problem statement that itself instigates few goosebumps and an interest that okay, let's do it. And some institutes actually are paying you also for that and keeping you, investing in you that you become a good researcher and contribute going forward. So that itself again is a motivation which you can look forward to. Then it's a one-on-one journey, maybe with your mentor who will be helping you, and then lot of uh, reading and analysis goes through in the process, and then you are expected to publish in top journals as well. So considering all these points, the biggest temperament fit is, for me, it will be perseverance. There will be, I will not say hard work because yes, hard work everyone will put in. There are ways you can do smart work, but if you don't do hard work, you will not be able to do smart work. So that's what my motto is. But perseverance is the biggest word that I will go with. You don't let go anything. In the sense, if on a particular day you are feeling not motivated, you are not feeling well about the program, let it be. Let the thinking process sink in, and then next day start afresh. Every day is not uh, uh, you you are not expected to perform on every single day, right? From if you are expecting from within for yourself, it's good. You should be positively motivated, but then it can inculcate a negative feel as well that I'm expecting highly out of myself. Be very reasonable, be very practical about yourself, be very lenient to you as well. It's you accept things. Okay, I have not performed well today, not a problem. I will study this, and then the second day is a different day. The biggest thing is you should not take things so very seriously because PhD is a ball game where the things will change on every single day or every single week because the new research, your thinking is in process. So keep a very good temperament kind of an attitude where you're you have a good understanding of yourself and keep never give up. That's I guess in the previous video also I have said that the only motto is never give up, and hence I'm thinking right now also as the perseverance is one of the qualities, and never give up is what I will go again with. It's a motto where I have always uh, followed right from my college where I started writing my book or getting a top position in my college. So it's always there in and see I have read somewhere as well. Good things comes to people who work hard or work smart, but the best things happen to those who never give up. So you can take all these things in motivation, not only in PhD, but in your personal life and professional life as well.
So thanks a lot, sir. You have added lot of value to this session, and definitely we are going to have a dedicated blog, एक डेडिकेटेड ब्लॉग पीएचडी के ऊपर, ठीक है? अगर आपको पीएचडी करनी है, कैसे करें, एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया, इन जनरल डिटेल्स, इसका लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मिल जाएगा. इफ यू वांट टू आस्क एनी क्वेश्चन टू सर और इन जनरल की क्या होता है एग्जैक्टली, कैसे करना है, डायरेक्टली ब्लॉग को विजिट करो. नीचे कमेंट सेक्शन है, कमेंट करके आप पूछ सकते हो. You will definitely get reply from sir. Okay, so that is how it is going to continue. So guys, that's it in this video. This was very straightforward, and thanks to you, sir, once again, because this is something which is not discovered for as of my thought process is concerned. मैंने भी ज़्यादा कुछ सोचा नहीं था. First of all, I never knew that when it comes to PhD from IIMs, the stipend level would be more than 35,000 or in the range of 35,000, as I have seen on many websites. So that is how it goes. Money is motivation for a person like me, but it's okay. So that is how it goes. So thanks a lot, sir, once again. And guys, check out the links in the description box.
Thanks to you as well having me here. It is really great interacting with you every single time. So whenever we are putting it ahead again, I'm really happy to contribute whenever you feel like. So yeah, thanks for having me on your show. Yeah,
Our work is done. Now it is your responsibility to share the content, to share the video, and spread the information, spread awareness. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay connected and always keep that smile up.